What's going on, guys? This is Jack Freeman from the Jack of All Trades podcast. We have a special guest today. Friend of mine who's doing work on the ground in the political realm, in the classroom as an educator. She's a super dope person to talk to, man. We talk. Her name is Jules. She has the Pretty Petty Politics podcast that she does on a weekly basis, where she talks about everything from local politics all the way to national, international politics, and then talks a little bit about what's going on in culture today. She also is a maker of wonderful male products for the beard. It's called Just Whipped. We talk a lot about that at the end. We also talk about being a creator in the industry of any industry, of that matter, and we give our takes about how to support your friends that are creatives, and how to look at the friends that you think you want to support you. So we talk a little bit about it. It's probably a little bit shorter of a podcast than we've ever had. Maybe, I don't even know how long this podcast went, but it went maybe about an hour. Okay, so we we're here. So Happy New Year. This is the first podcast. This is the first episode of the year. So we're about to start right now.
Yeah. If you wanna ride, you better make up your mind and choose up. If you wanna roll in the passenger seat of my car, you better make up your mind and choose up.
What's going on, guys? This is the Jack of All Trades podcast. I am your host, Jack Freeman. Welcome back. We here. Couple things I want to get out of the way before we start the show. Next month, February 20th, I will be in Chicago at the Promontory performing live. February 22nd, I will be at the City Vineyard in New York. The tickets are on sale now on the freemanbrand.com/tour. We're going to have fun. We're going to jam. It's going to be so much fun. Go get the album, Define Love. You can buy vinyl on the freemanbrand.com/store. Get all of that going. Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. Happy New Year. This is our first episode of 2019. It's going down. So if you made it, if you here, then that means Donald Trump hasn't ruined the earth yet. So happy holidays to you guys. I hope you guys had a great holiday and all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. And we're here. So we're gonna get to our guest today. Our guest today is a young lady that I met
in them tweets.
I would assume because I was working with Kiki at the time, Lil Kiki. Or
no,
was it
I don't
from
even think
else?
it was because of Kiki. I think we just followed each other, and then I realized, like, oh, he's on a new album.
Yeah,
I realized that before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, closer.
So she is.
I'm a Jules of all.
Yes,
trades.
she's a Jules of all trades. She is a I'm gonna start calling her the councilwoman, because she is anything you need to know about the political climate locally and nationally and probably internationally. She has her finger on the pulse. She is also a maker of wonderful beard butter products. Is it beard butter? Is that what you call
butter?
It? Beard butter. It's called Just Whipped. You also make like other products too, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
She is a Florida native.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to hold that against her.
I'm a Floridian.
You're Floridian.
Florida made, Texas paid.
Yes. She does not eat people's faces on the freeway. She is a wonderful person. I've been on her show, her podcast, the Pretty Petty Politics podcast, on 2 occasions. And so now I'm having her here because I don't get enough women on my show, and I need to do a better job of that. So this show and the next show, I guarantee you, will be women of great talent and great insight. So without further ado, is my friend Jules. Jules, say hi to the people.
Hey, people. Thank you for having me on here.
Nah, we just out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, we don't have a script for this. I literally called her an hour before I got here. So
and I beat you here.
You did beat me here. So that's not new. People beat me to places all the time. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I am. But yeah. So Jules, how you? I like to start the podcast by asking people how they're doing mentally, physically, spiritually. If there's anything that's troubling them, get off their chest if they want to if they feel great, putting that in there. And if there are things that you do to maintain your positive spirit and positive outlook on things, what is it that you do so that people can know?
That's a lot. Okay. So I'm feeling good. Hopefully I'm looking good.
You do. You look
and
good.
I smell good because I bathe.
And
I put on some butter and some deodorant. Mentally, I'm in a very good place. The devil do not try to come attack me. I rebuke that right now.
Amen.
Physically, I do. We just finished talking about that. I'm wanting to lose some weight. I want to drop probably 2 dress sizes. Okay. Yeah, 2, because I want to be at 8 again, and I'm a 12, so 10, 12. Yeah, 2 dress sizes. Spiritually, I'm well. I'm very healthy spiritually, and that's how I push through when things go wrong. I'm constantly praying. I make the effort to speak positive, and to not let other people, unbeknownst to them, speak negatively over me. Right. So like, good friend of mine, Tuesday night, we were at the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. Marcus has a show that he's looking to put into syndication.
Shout out to Marcus, the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So my friend,
if you're not from the H and you've never been, and you ever come to the H, stop by the Breakfast Club. Black-owned, wonderful restaurant. It's a great place.
Oh,
and the Reggae Hut.
Hold on. Let me just do them all the way.
Yes.
So if you come to the H, holler at either one of us. Yep. You can follow me on Twitter, a Southern Jewel, a Southern Jewel, and that's Jule. And on Instagram, the Southern Socialite. So the Breakfast Club, holler at one of us. We'll make sure you get taken care of. The Breakfast Club, they have the main location, and then they have the Signature Cafe right behind it. Yep. So all that waiting in line.
They also have the Bush Airport location.
Yes.
Yes. The IAH, that's the bigger airport.
The bigger airport. So like if you're flying from the East Coast, you're probably coming United. Yeah. That airport.
It's in the same terminal as Spirit Airlines, and I want to say Southwest, and I think like maybe American.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So they're located in the airport right now. Matter of fact, you can go on USA Today and vote for them as best airport restaurant, by the way.
That'll probably win easily.
The Breakfast Club, they have the Reggae Hut, which is Caribbean food.
Yeah.
Then they have the Alley Cat.
The Alley Cat.
Which is like a lounge bar.
Yeah.
Real cool. Has some really awesome guests that come through.
They have Culture, the newest restaurant.
Yes.
I haven't been yet, but I plan to go.
I go at least once a month. So Culture that's Culture with the K. Everything put a K. So even Breakfast Club put a K. So everything's with the K. Yes, he's a Kappa.
Absolutely.
But
He
Culture
absolutely
is dope as heck. It's downtown, right by the convention center. Excellent food. They have a awesome Chef Dawn. She's fabulous. They have oxtail. They have, oh my gosh, their hummus. I don't eat hummus, but they have black eyed pea hummus, and baby, it's good.
Gotta try that.
And order the collard green purses. Just trust me.
Right.
With smoked turkey. Man, listen, I'm hungry.
Amen.
Let's change the subject. So
you're doing
the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I was at the Breakfast Club for his show. I said all that. Shout out to Marcus and his team. And my friend was introducing me to somebody. He was telling him how long we've known each other. He was like, and I love her to death. I said, oh, you love me to life. And that's something that I'm learning to correct people on, because we have to speak life. We have to make sure our words dictate the things that we're looking forward to and that we're aspiring for.
Absolutely.
So that's where I am. That's who I am. And that's how I keep going. I pray and I try to be nice to people. I do cuss at people, though, in traffic especially.
It's fine. You got to cuss sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to let them out.
Yeah.
Let's
see how I do today.
Yeah. I don't mind. You gotta let it go sometimes. So, Jules, you are an educator.
Yes.
By day.
Yes.
And a social justice warrior by
day too. By all day. In my sleep, I wake up and be like, oh Lord, I feel some injustices happen.
Yep. I feel it.
I feel it.
In my body.
In my body.
So, tell us a little bit about your upbringing, how you got to this point, what made you so passionate about these particular things that you speak on your social media accounts and on your podcast.
So I was born black.
Okay.
I was born black.
That'll start it right there.
And I was born black. And yes. Also, my upbringing, again, I am from Florida, from Central Florida. Central Florida has a very rich culture and history, but more so a rich history. Let me go with the rich history. And that rich history has a lot of ugly scars and a lot of wounds that still haven't quite made scabs yet. Right. So most people think of Florida, they think sunshine, they think beaches, Disney World, vacation.
And not George Zimmerman.
They don't think George Zimmerman. They don't think of the Klan. They don't think of these black bodies being murdered and tortured as something that's a new phenomenon. What they do, they think it's something new, when actually that's the rich history of Central Florida. Central Florida in particular. So like if you ever have read Zora Neale Hurston's writings.
A few. Yeah.
So like Their Eyes Are Watching God, that was set in Central Florida. She is buried there in Eatonville, if I'm not mistaken. But which is also in that same area where Trayvon Martin was killed, Sanford. So Central Florida, basically that I-4 corridor, so anywhere between Tampa and Orlando, that whole little area, it get kind of tough in there. So growing up hearing stories and seeing things and hearing the whispers, I didn't realize that stuff was supposed to have been old. They weren't just passed down stories. Some of those things were happening. Yeah. And in 2006, there was a shooting that happened, and I was actually living back home. I had just moved back from Houston. And there was a shooting, and it just didn't sit with me well at all. And mostly because I was educated, done a year of law school, done a master's. Again, I'm being black, and I'd been introduced to social justice at such a young age, going to NAACP meetings, going to city council meetings. I've been exposed to it so early, so I knew that some stuff just wasn't right and you weren't supposed to just shake your head. So what happened was, this guy, he had a stop. The police officer called for backup. The backup comes. The backup and his dog, D-O-G, D-I-O-G-I, like dog, D-O-G. D-O-G was killed, as well as his handler or his partner officer, Officer Matthew Williams. But the other officer who called for backup, he had like a flesh wound. And I'm like, well, if you were the first on the scene, how do people who come get shot and you just have a flesh wound? But that's just my brain just trying to process stuff, because I'm not a police officer. Right. Nonetheless, the assailant, he hid in some woods that backed up to the freeway, and he hid in those woods. The sheriff went on national television. Our sheriff is Sheriff Grady Judd. You kind of love him and hate him, because you do feel like he give equal justice. But I just felt like he was not supposed to have killed the suspect. Right. And he went on national news. I remember watching Today Show, and he was like, that they was going to take him, period. And I remember when the shooting first happened, it was like we were on the plantation, because people were calling. They hunting down black men. They hunt down black men with dreadlocks. This Florida. Yeah. Everybody got dreadlocks. You know, black folks stay in your house. I'm like, dude, it's 2006. What are y'all talking about? Yeah. Like, master coming. Yeah. You know, but then I live, my mom's house is like near a highway, and we saw these police cars coming from out of town. And
then it began.
Yeah. So people came from all over the state for this massive manhunt. And that guy, his remains were slush when they got to the funeral home.
They shot him that many times?
Slush was the exact word used by the funeral home owner. Slush. So, and that's not due process.
No, it's not.
Because no one's life was at risk.
Right.
I don't think. I don't know. I wasn't there. And
that's excessive.
So I was told, I don't know how true it is. Somebody told me, a black officer told me they weren't allowed. They could only work the perimeter of the area. And they shut down like a whole side of town, like shutting down all the third ward to look for one person. That's a large space. So say between 45 and Scott.
Yeah.
That's in 288 and say Cullen. That's a large area to shut down.
Ridiculous.
To look for one person.
And that's what catapulted you into this.
It just let me know that, okay.
Set an alarm off for you.
Yeah, like, that ain't, no. And then the second thing that did it for me, so I started blogging really heavily, right? And I would do a lot of speaking and stuff, and I worked with youth. But what really set me off was 2014 when the autopsy sketch of Mike Brown was released. And that baby had a hole in the top of his head. Oh, I was livid. I called somebody a motherfucker and a bitch that night. Like, I unleashed.
You can still do that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you motherfuckers crazy. Like, I don't care what he did. He got shot in the top of his head. So it made all that hands up, don't shoot. That made that even more real to me. Yeah. Because if I'm in that position of surrender, my head down and you shoot me, right? Because either I'm down or you shoot me on top of my head. Because bullets just don't.
Right. They don't hurt.
Yeah. So from there, it's just like, we have to talk about it, but I can't just talk about the frustration part of it. We got to talk about the rights. And some people are like, oh, black people, the Constitution won't rent for us. Oh, well, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it till I can't no more.
So I feel that when you fight the fight that you and many others are fighting, and you're constantly on a swivel about just like everything, as much as we deal with on a day-to-day basis, like every day there's a story about one of us, right? It has to be draining and it has to be tiring.
It is.
So after looking at, when you wake up in the morning and you say such and such unarmed man or woman was shot last night 15 times by the cops, and then you look at another story and the ongoing investigation of the other cop that shot the other guy or girl is now being concluded and they're facing no charges, and then this person over here is calling the police on a black person for like trying to have a cookout.
Walking?
Yeah, for walking. Or or Donald Trump is just breathing still, or that just like all of these things that just like happen and happen and happen and happen and happen. When do you shut it off?
So we have 168 hours in a week. 64 of them I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
So I make sure that I'm rested so my mind gets to sleep.
So
is like detox.
104 hours is when
you're processing, you're helping, you're dealing with, you're creating solutions, you help other people deal. But I think I start with that 64 for rest, because I take a bunch of naps too, because that's when your mind gets to detox. That's when you get to release some of that stuff and reset, and I pray a lot, and I have people around me that I can talk to about these things that can understand, and that it's iron sharpening iron. We help each other. We feed off each other.
I mean, I say that because, like, obviously this is basically your job.
It is.
What do you teach?
Political science. Government. Yeah.
So your job is to be in this forever. So, like, if my job is being an artist, my job is being an artist, I'm here to tell you, I cannot spend 16 hours a day being an artist. I can't do it because I don't like half the people that are calling me half the time. I don't want to deal with the emails that I get from people that I don't want to hear from. I don't want to. I just don't want to do it all the time. I don't want to write music all the time. I don't want to be in the studio for hours and hours and hours all the time. I just can't do it, and I just have to find things that are going to level me out. So the balance, I guess my question is just like, where do you get the balance? Like, how do you balance that? Like, how does Jules see all of this bullshit going on during the day and then have to teach a poli-sci class and then, or 3 or 4, because you teach at TSU?
No, I'm no longer there. I'm at another college. So we'll talk about that off the air. Okay,
cool.
Yeah. It's here. It's here in the Houston area.
But let's say you teach 3-4 classes a day. Maybe you don't have a class on Wednesdays or something like that. However you make your schedule. At some point, Jules got to go have a drink. Or Jules got to go
cry. Go just sit in silence. Travel. Yeah, all that.
Because, like, I'm like, I agree with James Baldwin in that to be black and relatively conscious is to be in
a constant state of rage.
Yeah, I can't do it though.
But I can't. You've learned to. I think we learn to manage it. It's an innate balance that we have.
Yeah, but when
because you fight for social justice.
Yeah, but I also got my own shit to deal with.
Yeah, we
so
all
like,
do.
During all of that, like, we haven't even mentioned the part that, like, when you get home, somebody calling you about something else that has to do with your life. And, whether it be family drama or relationship, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, like, still that part. It's like you don't even get to get home and then, like, not do that. So the balance got to be there, because, like, that's why I'll probably never be a politician. I'd be a horrible politician, because I'll be done walked up in there one day and been like, I ain't trying to hear that shit today.
So I have some very close friends that are politicians. I have people that I'm reasonably cool with that are in politics, but I just don't see politicians being politicians are like elected K-list celebrities.
Yeah.
That have influence and power.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
K-list.
because they're not A-list and they're not Z-list, you know. And D just sounds so stupid. So like K, okay, we cool. Okay, we work with it. Yeah.
You just skip G and all that.
Yeah. Founders Day coming up. I had to throw the K in there.
Yeah,
but I've been asked to run for office. I won't say I never will, but it's not something that I desire, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've worked, most of my career has been in the realm of public service, whether it being, but always in some type of government organization, be it education or someone's city hall. But the moment I went and worked in corporate America, that was the hardest part for me. So for me, being around politics, justice issues, dealing with constitutionality, that's a natural fit for me. Right. When I worked in corporate America, you know, they tried to make me excited about money. I'm like, nah, but y'all don't treat people right.
Right.
Like,
right.
I'm going to have money. I'm a hustler and I'm pretty. So I'm going to get some money. Yeah. So what else do y'all have to offer me?
What's going to feed my spirit?
Right. And I was like, you ain't supposed to be here. So as soon as I left there, like, my health improved, my attitude improved, I slept better. I just started feeling better and I got back into what I love. And so since I'm doing this, it puts a lot on my plate, but I get so much joy from it and I get to see how it helps other people. So it's like your music. I'm sure it gives you a high. You see how it makes people feel. You love to create. And at times you have to take a break from it. So at times I take a break. So for like 3 weeks, you know, I went home. Yeah. You know, and I didn't do much of anything. If you wanted to see me, you pretty much had to come to my mother's house because I wasn't even going out visiting people. Yeah. I just really wanted to chill. Right. And so you have to make time for yourself. I do that here in Houston. I'm like, I'm be gone for the weekend. Where you going? Oh, I'm just taking a little trip. I'm gone to my house. Yeah. Taking a trip home.
I feel you. I mean, I'm very, very, I'm very open in saying that when this music thing really, really, really becomes what I need it to be or what I want it to be, I'm going to work really hard for a few years and I'm disappearing. And I'm going to disappear for as long as I need, and no one's going to know except the people I'm the closest to. So you'll be like, yeah, I know where you at. Not telling you. Right. But I mean, because I just, you know.
You don't want to be consumed. Like, I don't feel like I'm consumed by politics. When I have those moments, I feel like it's consuming me.
So it doesn't feel like work to you?
No, it feels good. And the days that it does feel like work, it's usually because I'm doing something that I don't want to do, but that somebody needs me to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I probably should have just used my no. And I'm getting better at telling people no.
No's a complete sentence.
Yeah, is it? Ooh, no is so powerful. That's one of the best sentences.
Yeah.
You know, there's I'm learning
different variations of that too. No, nah, hell no.
I'm not going to be able to help you with that.
Yeah, ain't going to be able to do it.
Yeah. I'm not interested. Oh, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit where I'm at right now.
No, thank you. No response at all.
Yeah. I hate that one though.
Sometimes you got to get these niggas no response.
Yeah, I hate that one.
Sometimes you just got to, hey, nah, I'm not even going to entertain that.
Yeah.
And I think what it is, where it comes from with me is just that like people, and I have to learn to like really, really find my balance on a lot of this stuff. Is like people think that people think that I should do my job for free. Mm-hmm. People think that I'm supposed to just do it on demand when they ask. I got this for you to do, and it does nothing for me. And so I just have to, after a while, just not respond.
Now, what I can say about So I left home at 16.
Mm-hmm.
I went to private school.
Oh,
and
like
so
a boarding school type of
boarding
thing?
school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All black boarding school in Mississippi, of all places.
You was beating up folks and had to get kicked out?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You just decided you wanted to go.
Yeah, because it's an all black school, and I just felt like it's going to be an awesome opportunity for me. And if I had to do it all over again, I would.
Okay.
Right? But in leaving home, it forces you to grow and become independent in a different way.
Yep.
And to own who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you don't have anybody to fall back on. Mm-hmm. So even like, say, Just Whip, my company, you know, I do all that myself. Mm-hmm. And it gets to be a lot. I don't have somebody. My mama can't come and put labels on.
Right.
I have to do every single thing. And I'm not complaining because it's a blessing. But what I'm saying to you is, when you step out there and you start getting it and you don't have people who are familiar around you, it also grows you. And other people will see your value. People who don't know you will see your value and pay you for your value or above your value quicker than someone who does know you.
Absolutely.
You know, I have people who, I know her whole life. Well, you ain't never supported me.
Right.
Like, it's a link right there. Click it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a great time for me to speak on this. Anyone who's a creator out there, just starting, maybe a couple years in, trying to figure that way. I don't care if you're a painter. I don't care if you make cosmetic products. I don't care if you're an artist, like a singer or a rapper. I don't care if you're a producer. I don't care if you're
bringing something to the marketplace.
You're bringing something.
Yeah.
If you are bringing something, if you're creating something and bringing something to the marketplace, here's what you need to understand. And she will attest to this. Jules here will attest to this. Your closest friends and family members, for the most part, will not be your biggest supporters. They won't. Your homies, I got friends and I got family members who, no matter what, they always purchase stuff, even when I'm just trying to like just give it to them. But they do it anyway. That's like maybe a good 15 to 20 people, roughly, out of like 300-400 people that I really, really actually know.
Right.
Like for real know. People that even think they're closer to me than they think than they are. So don't be discouraged by the fact that your friends don't support you. The reason why is because most of them don't even understand what you do, and they don't understand, and they don't really care.
And they have an idea of who you are.
They have an idea. They think that because you create something that A, you're rich, and B, you should give it to them for free. And it is not something that you're doing wrong. I'm telling you, it's not something you're doing wrong. Most of the people around you don't value what you do more than you do. So when anyone who's ever seen me talking about promoting a show or anything like that on social media or anything like that, understand people closest to me and those like people that know me and people that think they know me, understand I am never advertising to you.
Right.
I'm never advertising to you. When you tell me, well, I didn't get a personal invite, so I didn't think I was in, but you saw it on Twitter. You saw it on Instagram. You saw Jules put her beard butter on. You
on
followed
social media,
the account.
yeah.
You saw her have this event, tell you about this event at this place so that you could come and support. You saw that, and you still wanted that personal invite.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm telling you now, it is never coming. Artists out there that's like, do not be afraid to be that person. Don't be afraid to be that person that's like, yeah, absolutely. Send text out and let people know, yo, I got this going on. I got that going on. Understand that I only do that for people that I know are going to show up.
And this is the thing. I I don't have time for that. Either you coming or you're not.
You don't. Yeah.
And if you down for me and you rocks with me like that,
yeah,
you know, like my closest friends, let me just say this. My closest friends, we don't talk every day. We might not talk every week. We might touch bases in a month, or we might miss a month. Them my closest friends, I can pick up the phone and pick up like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But they rock with me.
Yeah.
You know, those are true friends. If I have to babysit our friendship,
yeah,
and I have to call you and check, if I got to call to you and all, you wait.
I'm like, if you
either fuck with me or you don't. Yeah. Period.
As a creator, someone who puts something into the marketplace, you do not have to babysit your friends into supporting you.
Right.
Either they're going to do it or they're not going to do it. And it's okay that maybe you make something that they can't afford.
Or
because at that point, if they know that, and if they're a good friend to you, they'll get the hell out of your way.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. And not just that. Oftentimes, our friends, iron sharpens iron. So Absolutely. They have stuff going on too, so they're not in their feelings. It's those people Absolutely. Who have an idea, not the correct idea, but they have an idea of who they think you are or what you're doing. And so they kind of put you into this box of that, you know, and that's all they see.
People think that if people think that because you get on stage and you entertain people, and you maybe, like some of these people travel the world and all that kind of stuff, that you don't actually do work. That is work. The money that said artist gets paid on a world tour or at a festival or at this one-off show or at the whatever situation that you see on TV or anything like that, is well deserved.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work that goes into that.
Beyonce deserves every bit of that couple $1 million that they're gonna have to pay.
These
her.
Millions I'm about to make with Just Whip, I've earned it.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I've been grinding with this.
So when people that also, on the other standpoint, if you have a creative friend and you want them to do something for you, look, they will give you the 5-finger discount or the 2-finger discount at their discretion. Not because you the homie.
And I'm gonna tell you, supporting your friend, it's not even just purchasing something.
Yeah,
it's sharing.
Yeah,
right. I can't go to your Chicago show.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
right.
I mean, I probably could try and work it in, but do I know people in Chicago? Most definitely. Let me send that to them.
Absolutely.
Do I know people in New York? Let me send that to them. And so that's what it's about. Support is bigger than swiping a card or entering your 16 digits in your zip code. Yeah. And that's what people have to understand. And they too can be a creative, because I believe in gifts, and that's why I do what I do. I have multiple things that I do because what I recognize is who I am. Yeah. Right. And in recognizing who I am, that forced me to recognize who I belong to. Right. And understanding those two things let me know, okay, I've been kind of equipped with some things. Like the reason why my Instagram is the Southern Socialite. You can go, maybe not in Louisiana, but Jackson, Birmingham, Atlanta, throughout Florida, Houston, Dallas, the South. I'm good in those cities, right? And the reason is because I built relationships, you know, and I just have a connection throughout the South. So I went with the Southern Socialite or Southern Jewel because I'm a Southerner. I got relationships. I'm going to be on scenes that you might not even understand why I'm there. And the reason why you don't understand, because you don't know who I am. But if you know who I am, it'll make sense that I'm at the courthouse for somebody swearing in. Right. Or I'm backstage at a big concert. You know, or I might have floor seats at a Rockets game. You've never seen me at a Rockets game before. Right. You know, because I'm good where I go. I have good relationships with people. I don't tell people business. I help people and don't tell that I help them. You know,
Yeah.
I see something wrong and I'll tell somebody, hey, I noticed this. I just wanted to point it out to you. Hopefully it helps you if you need anything else. And I'm not looking for nothing.
Right.
You know, and those kind of things that help shape you and it helps extend your personhood.
Yeah. It a part of this is the part of the key.
People think you got money because you and B Cox.
Yeah. Yeah. Just cause they see me in a picture
they
with
think
B.
I'm
Cox,
rich because of Kiki. You were with Kiki. I know you get married, and that's my boy. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And whatever financial agreement we have, that ain't for public digestion.
Right.
You know, that's two people working on something together.
Absolutely.
You know,
and part of it again, when you do things, let's just say rappers, for instance. Take a rapper. It's an easy example of this, right? Let's say you're from Acres Home and you got 50 homies at the, that they rock with you, whatever. They got all they rapping all your songs or whatever. You keep putting out free mixtapes, right?
Right.
Rapper, singer, whatever. Those 50 people, although 40 of them might be your real close friends and people that you grew up with and all that kind of stuff, they're a blip on the radar when it comes to the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that if Jay-Z was just rapping to get Marcy projects behind him in his 7th album, we'd never hear from Jay-Z again.
Right.
Think outside of your general vicinity and your neighborhood. And when you do that, you'll realize that when you go to that show with them 50 people that didn't pay or buy tickets or occupy any type of contribution to your movement at all, besides the fact that they just a homie, you realize that those people might be useless.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those people are useless. Ask any rapper who traveled that deep early on and ask them how they travel now.
Right.
I see Bun walks around here with his wife. I've seen plenty of guys.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I just met Cedric the Entertainer for New Year's. And Cedric, maybe 3 or 4 people was with him. Maybe. And I don't even think I saw the other 3 people outside of Cedric. Like, this is this thing that we do, all of us, is so much bigger if you make it bigger, if you look bigger. So when I say that I'm not advertising for when I'm doing when I announce shows and people are like, so when are you going to do another Houston show? I'm probably not doing another Houston show for a while.
Soon.
Because I don't want to do.
Because you're not, that's like Megan Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah.
She wouldn't be going viral. She just depended on Houston.
Right.
She had to get out there.
Yeah.
You got to go to New York. You got to go to Chicago. You got to go to these other markets.
These people not getting deals everywhere, whether it be a label or whether it be sponsorships or anything like that. They're not getting these deals so that they could just go back to Houston and just be that
And it's
person.
the same thing, say, with products, right?
Yeah.
People will say to me, oh, you should go here and say, I don't want to have to be going to these markets around town. Now, have I worked in markets? Definitely. Yeah. But I could do so much more if I'm global.
It's kind of like when people ask me that, oh, you should, they do open mic over there. You should go do the open mic.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, but I don't, nah.
Yeah, like that's not where
I'm good.
I am.
Like I kind of like being asleep right now.
And again, I go back to the gifts. The gift wasn't given to me to hold it and just use the product myself, right? Or to just share it with a few friends. It wasn't given to me to bury or to just flip once. Yeah. Right? It was given to me to grow. Right. Like I have real life goals that when I sit down with Oprah in a few years and talk about them, you gonna think of this conversation. Like I have real goals for this company. And so like I had to make a decision. 2019, 1 and 9. 1 is the beginning, 9 is the end, right? 19 is such a powerful number. It has multiple meanings. But if I'm going to trust God, I got to be obedient to what he tells me to do.
Right.
So this business, I got to be obedient to it. So I decided, I wrestled with it for a while, that I needed to step away from the business, from working in the business, and position myself to work on the business. Well, what does that mean? If I'm not in it because I make it and I'm just working on it, because there's some things I need to work on, right? So with my business this year, it's a big sacrifice to step away from it and prepare to grow it. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. Well, what if I need XYZ? Well, you're going to have to get it in those 4 months that I make it available. So it'll be like seasonal. Okay, the market is open. Come order what you need. You know, because in order for me to be able to sprint like an Olympian, I got to first crawl. Right. You know, so I'm coming out of crawling, so now I'm a toddler wobbling. You know, but I'm trying to be a sprinter. I'm trying to go for the goal. Right. And people don't understand that because, again, they have this perception of what they have no clue.
They only see what's in front of them.
Yeah. You know, people are like, I'm an entrepreneur. Well, you order your stuff offline and you reorder it. Yeah, you are an entrepreneur because you hustling, you reselling something. Right. But my task is so much longer. Yeah. I got to get ingredients. I got to measure ingredients. Right. You know, my friends joke like, you cooking up dope. Yeah, I am. You know? Yeah. Like, it's a process, and I want return customers. Right. You know, because it's a lot of butter on the market.
Yeah, it is.
But I have a customer base that is repeated, like a 400. And I feel like that's strong. Right. You know, because it's repeated. Right. You know, and then I had the one-offs and the referrals and the ones I don't even document because it's just happening so fast. Right. So that's showing me that I have something going.
So, like, remember this, folks. Your goal to be the hottest in the street is crazy. You want to know why it's crazy? It's not big enough. Like, it's not big
That's
enough.
So small.
It's such a small situation, fam. Like, yeah, you can start somewhere and be there, but your goal should be, like, if you make clothes at the crib and you screen print right now, keep doing that screen print. If you want to, if style and fashion is what you're trying to do, then you have to look towards the people that you gotta say, man, I want the materials like Nike. I want to be up there with, you know, Gucci and all of that stuff. Like, you gotta shoot for that kind of stuff because they didn't think it was crazy at all when they was doing that. So neither should you. Right. When you want to make music and you say, man, I want to be as you know, big as Beyonce or as big as Michael Jackson or as big as, you know, Jay-Z or Rihanna, whoever it is. That's not crazy if you're good at what you do. Right. If you're good at what you do and you work super hard at what you do, it's not that crazy. The people around you might think that it's crazy. The people around you might think, oh, well, you know.
But it's not their vision.
It's not their vision, and they don't understand it. And you should stop trying to explain to people why. Stop trying to explain to people why you value your shit more than they do. Right. Because nobody's ever going to value what you do.
Very few people will.
Right.
Even see it.
Yeah. You can't. People can't care about it more than you. If they do, then they are, you know, doing too much. I mean, if I should say, if they care about you, care about it more than you, you're not doing enough. If they gotta get you up out of bed to do what you gotta do, then you are in the wrong industry.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you go to work every day and the time you get there, you thinking about how long before you get to leave. Yeah. You need to move around. I used to do that. Yeah. Like, 5 o'clock gonna be here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. And so you have to do what's necessary to help you. We get one life that we know of. Yeah. That we know of, right? Yeah. We get one. So how am I going to spend it? I tell my students this, like, it's 100. I don't want to hear about why you don't have my homework because you ain't have time. You got 168 hours.
Yeah.
Can you account for them?
Yeah.
You know, so you have 168 hours. And if you take that approach, like when you hit me, I just so happen I'd already said I got my backpack. I'll just chill here till I have to go to my next little spot.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hit me, I was like, yeah, I do have time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I plan what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But people waste so much time. I even plan my tweets. I don't pre-tweet, but I know when I can tweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I look at people, every time I'm on Instagram, they're on Instagram, and they might post 15 posts on Instagram throughout. Like, how the hell?
In like an hour.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How do you get paid?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this because I do need to leave. I stood up because my watch said stand and move. But Kiki says this all the time. And it's one of my favorite things that that we share. He says, them likes don't equal sales.
They don't.
Them likes don't equal sales. And so if you're measuring somebody's success by the number of likes or views and stuff, you got it all wrong.
Yep.
Because all it takes is one.
Mm-hmm. Because some of these models that be on there be having 1 million followers and sleep on an air mattress.
Right.
Ain't got no furniture. Maybe not. They may even be homeless.
You know, or
they probably wearing the same outfit every day.
Man, I could tell you some things, but I ain't supposed to say it. But I'm just say this.
We'll talk about that off the
Yeah. People have to. You got to value who you are.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody likes a selfie I put out, I'm not going to delete myself. I like me.
I like myself. Yeah, my hair was laid.
I like me.
My hair was
You know
laid.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
I like who I am. I like what I represent.
Yeah.
But if I post something about a video and it get 500 views, I don't care if nobody likes the video.
Yeah.
Or somebody complains about it, because as long as somebody see that video and then they go over to that link and they put some stuff in their shopping cart, and they close out their order, and I get that email that says that video was what it was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You know, so we get so caught up in likes and social media interactions, and I got have me back so we can talk about my thoughts on social media.
Okay.
All of that is cool, but it should not consume you.
Right.
And I think that we found ourselves being consumed by that stuff, and it's not healthy. And like you said, some of these folks, they living lives, they doing stuff for the gram, and then I don't want to say that because that's going to throw shade on somebody. I wasn't even thinking about them, but then I thought about them, you know, but then yeah, man. Don't get caught up with the perception that you think somebody is. Know people for who they are. So I'm telling y'all, I be broke sometimes. And I be looking between them accounts like, okay, how I'm going to make this match and stretch. You know?
Same here.
You know, and that's real. I do have somebody, if I need some money, I can hit them and be like, hey, let me hold something. I have a friend. We do that for one another.
Right.
So I'm not around here asking 15 folks for my rent. Like, now, if I'm broke, please believe all the bills are paid.
Right.
And it's gas in the car.
Yeah. You just gotta figure out how you gonna maneuver.
Like I might need some
while.
ramen noodles, chicken flavor, you know, but do I have some hot sauce to go with it, then I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of people, they're not gonna tell you that about themselves. That's what I like about myself. I'm comfortable enough.
It's the perception that people put out that isn't true and it isn't real, and they think that everybody that's probably why you should probably stop assuming that your friends that look happy on social media are just okay. You should probably call them. Because they're probably not okay. So, I definitely feel I'm glad we got to that part. So before you go, I don't know how much time you got.
I do need to be leaving.
But I want to talk to you about Just Whipped. I want to know why it was important for you to make. Why was it important for you to make, for you, a woman, to make a product only consumed by males, like only used by males?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. So real quick, when I started it, I was just using the product myself, right?
For your beard.
No. I'm saying I made a product for me. I made the butter for me. I made a particular butter for me, right? And a friend of mine kept complimenting my skin. At the time, he was my coworker. So I'm like, is he being fresh or whatever? But no, he was serious. So I gave him some, and he was like, yo, I put it on my beard.
Yeah.
He was like, it had me looking, my girl was like, and I was like, okay. So I sent it to a couple of my friends with beards. I didn't put any, I didn't do anything for the smell of it.
Right. And it smells wonderful.
I just wanted them to just try it.
Yeah.
And then once they gave their feedback, then I started doing the oils for different things and, just bringing it to life. The reason why I did it is because I worked in retail. I worked at Saks Fifth Avenue. And when I worked at Saks, I sold jewelry. Men are excellent customers. That's the number one reason why I chose it. Now, why I think God gave it to me is because I get to bless black men every time I give a black man that butter.
And we thank you.
Because that oil, let me tell you something about oil. So Just Whip, you can figure out the name, the reason for the name as I talk, and maybe we'll talk about it again to delve into some more. But oil is not the anointing. The anointing is in the process. And so that's where the good stuff comes out when you process it. So in our lives as creators, it's processes, but it's bringing forth now it beats us down. It leaves us bruised. Our feelings hurt, sleepless sometimes, broke sometimes, but the end product is what gets to bless people. Right. But it's that if it wasn't for those processes, it wouldn't be no good. So when I can give that to you, it's been prayed over, I'm like Chick-fil-A of the skincare, like
they got the greatest service.
Exactly. And that's what I aim to. I feel so bad when I don't get somebody's order out on time. I really feel bad. I know they understand that I'm just one person, but I want to meet you where, meet your order. You know what I'm saying? So I aim to be like a Chick-fil-A, and like Chick-fil-A, I give myself a day where I'm not going to do nothing.
Right.
But you have to have an idea of what's going to help the market. What can you do and bring to the marketplace that's going to help you? But it's also going to answer something in the marketplace. So black men love black women. My product isn't just for black men, though. I have white guys use it, Asian. Everybody uses it, Hispanic, Indian. But the first people to use it were black men. Right. It's a group of black men that I sent it to, and they love it. Group. My focus group, right? And so if I give it to my colleague Albert, former basketball player, white guy, if I give it to him for his beard, he's gonna love it. His wife gonna love it. From my understanding, it's real good for cuddling. Because she's like, he smells so good. Baby, you put some on. So now they having intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Just over the beard. So if I can bring that to the game, that's what I do. So Just Whipped is more than just beard butter. But that is our number one product. That is what we're known for. We do other things as well, but that's my focus.
I like it. I like it.
Men are loyal.
So
when it comes to products,
where can they find Just Whipped?
They can find Just Whipped, justwhip.bigcartel.com, and you can follow
Just Whipped.
JUSTWHIPPED, and that is our Instagram as well. JUSTWHIPPED. We are getting ready to go on somewhat of a sabbatical, but I'm gonna be posting about it. I'm gonna do a video to talk about it and post it on the page just to give people an idea what's going on with the business, how they can purchase, when they can purchase. But yeah, I'm looking to take this back into Saks. And I say back into Saks because I was wearing it to Saks every day when I worked there. Didn't even realize that it was already in Saks. So now I'm just be selling it in Saks.
There need to be a section in there.
Yeah. Like they have a Kills counter. Yeah. And they have a Bond number 9 counter. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, man.
Yeah.
I've personally tried the butter. She gifted me with some butter. My first time on the Pretty Petty Politics podcast.
Had I known or in advance, I would have bought you some today.
Man, and I told you I needed some the other day, but I didn't know you ain't. I know you ain't.
I was out and about.
But I put it on. I was like, this smells wonderful.
Yeah.
And if I could take a moment, like Just Whipped is a great company. There's a couple of other ones out there that if you just want variety and just want to support like I'd say use them all.
Yeah.
Because she makes a beard butter. I have a few friends that make beard oils. I got a few friends that make beard washes and conditioners. So Velvet Noir, based out of New Orleans, my guy Rod over there. Fuel the Beard right here in Houston. Yeah. Stephen Bentham. That's the first company that I started using because that's a good friend of mine. He got a leave-in conditioner. He got a comb. He got a oil. He got a few oils. He got all type of stuff.
And don't feel bad if someone else is doing it. I like to think of that meme with the bread aisle.
Yeah,
all it's the different bread.
Like you said, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah,
it's like there's certain things that you concentrate on in your like every beard product that I use is very different in a lot of ways. Very different.
Yeah.
So like when I'm telling you about Velvet Noir, it's not Just Whipped at all. When I'm telling you about Just Whipped, it's not Velvet Noir at all. It's not Fuel the Beard. It's not all of these. Like these are all things that are vastly different from each other, but are there to do the same thing. They smell different. They have a different consistency. They have, and you just got to find which one that makes you the best.
That fits you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but I just love it that, I can say that someone in that industry, in that particular, part of the industry, is a black woman that's doing it. And, it's a spin. It's a, because there's beard oils all over the place that white men are doing all day long.
Yeah.
And so when Steven came around, I was like, dang, there really ain't nobody really that I know of that's a black beard company with accessories and all that kind of stuff. And then, Velvet Noir came around. And I was like, okay, he doing this thing too. And I knew Rob before. I knew both of them before all of this. And I knew you before I knew you did, before
the product.
You did yours. And
I kind of slid it to you.
Yeah, you was just like, because you kept saying, I got to get you some beard butter. I got to get you some beard butter. So I'm like, all right. Then I came to the podcast and then boom, you gave me some beard butter.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely, especially ladies, black women out there, if you want your black king or your white king or whoever it is, your boo. If you want your man to keep up his beard a little bit better, or just find a different product that actually works better, because a lot of people using shampoo on their beards.
Like I make a grooming kit, so it has a shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, don't put like Pantene in your beard. That's not. It's really not. I had to learn that. Like there's stuff that goes into your hair shampoo on the top of your head that shouldn't be on your face. Some of that, like these other shampoos that go for your beard, she makes a grooming kit here. If you get your man the whole kit, the man in your life, your dad, your boyfriend, your brother, your little cousin, whatever it is, whatever man that you hold dear to your life that has a beard that needs to step their game up, or you just want them to have some variety in their products, man, get Just Whipped. Holla at Jules. Also, if there's anything that you feel like you want to do to contribute to society in the way of charity work or political work that you feel like you want to do as a law-abiding citizen on this, hit up Jules, man. She's a wealth of knowledge about all of this stuff, man. She can tell you who to go to.
Yeah. Definitely can direct you.
Definitely can direct, and if she can do more, if she's willing to do more, but definitely she's the one. She's like, look, if you want to say, look, I just want to do more. What can I do? What can I do about these people getting hurt out here? Just for being black. What can I do for these kids out here that really want to live a better life? What can I do better for women? We had a very good podcast on her show on the Pretty Petty Politics podcast. Subscribe to that
on Instagram. Pretty Petty Politics podcast.
We had a very good conversation about Mr. R. Kelly. Go to hell, R. Kelly. That's all I'm going to say.
You don't have to go to hell, R. Kelly.
You can definitely go.
Because you've already created hell for so many people.
Yeah. I just saw it the other day. There's like, he wants to tell his side of the story. I was like, can you tell it from jail? Because, like, But anyway, we had so subscribe to the Pretty Petty Politics podcast. I did that pretty good that time.
Yeah, you did good. Yeah. And we're on SoundCloud. What is it? What's the Apple one called?
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast should be up this week.
Yeah.
But you can check us out on Instagram, and all the information goes to Instagram. So if you want to catch the show that Jack just mentioned, that is the link to that is on our Instagram page.
Absolutely. Go check it out, man. She's grown to be, in the last year, she doesn't know this, but she's grown to be one of my favorite people to talk to.
Aww.
So, tell me about your challenge.
Oh, I got to go.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I am ready to date. I'm ready to share me.
I am ready for life.
Really gonna do me like that?
Good.
No, I'm ready to date. Like today, I went to Blue Horizon to get some snapper. Mm-hmm. Blue Horizon is a seafood market here in Houston, and you have to buy the whole fish.
Yeah,
I mean. But when you buy fresh fish, you got to eat it. Yeah, it's not like tilapia in a bag
for somebody
frozen.
You want to feed.
Like, damn, I had to call somebody that I used to date that I know will eat it and be like, hey, come through and get this.
Yeah.
But not on none of that. But I want to be able to share that. 2.5 pounds of snapper. You know what I'm saying? I should have a boo.
You got to have a boo. If you make it 2.5 pounds of snapper, if you're going to buy the snapper fresh out the ice, like off the ice, it's not even frozen.
Yeah, it's not frozen. The ice, it's all pretty. So let me tell y'all what I bought today. I really got to go. I bought some candy snapper. So candy snapper, you might hear it called Lane, or you might hear it called Yellowtail.
Yeah.
But it is really good fish. So, they calling for me. So I really do got to go. So that's what I bought today. I'm going to blacken some of it, pan sear some, and probably bake some. But I'm doing this pescatarian thing.
Can you put some of that in a
I'll make you some.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
But this is the thing. So the challenge is Jack is, and Boo, you might be listening. Mm-hmm. But the challenge is Jack is going to set me up on a blind date.
We're going to set you
up on 3.
On 3 blind dates.
3, because if the first one don't work, you're going to have to have that.
If the first one don't work, it's going to be okay.
So, blind date. And so his subjects and verbs must agree. And he needs to not be a fan of Jesus, but a follower. Mm-hmm. And he has to be a voter and have all his teeth, or at least purchase some teeth. Thanks.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's what we're going to do. That's the challenge. That's my challenge that she gave me. We're going to set her up on some blind dates. Fellas, do you have a lot of pictures on your Instagram?
A few.
You be doing work on
and I have to remind people, like, okay, don't forget.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do we're going to have a I'm going to try to set my girl Jules up with a wonderful blind date. I'm going to, fellas, if you are interested, I'm going to have you pick the location and all that kind of stuff. And, just because you got to do some work, bro. Like, you got to like, look, I know this place we can go, and, it can't be the movies. You can't talk in the movies, bro.
No, it can't be the movies.
We're going to do it. We're going to do 3, and stay on my ass about it too. Cause I gotta, you gotta remind me to keep, you gotta be like, hey, you found me. Cause I'm gonna get you somebody in 2019.
Okay.
Somebody in 2019. That is the goal here. Again, go get Just Whipped.
Pretty Petty Politics.
And let me know if you also, fellas, are looking for love. And
I'm not looking for love. I'm already loved.
You want to, or you're looking to share love.
Share love
with.
I got to use my words.
This nice young lady. Jules is one of the smartest people I know, easily. She's an incredible person. She's attractive. She's a hustler. And if you got a beard, you got products.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can have your own signature line, boo.
Your own signature line. Just with
Look at
the
it.
Tyrone line.
Ah!
There you go. All right. So thank you for coming. I'm sorry I had you over for this long. Ryan Rocket's in the building. I didn't get to shout you out earlier. My producer for the show is
Thank
going
you, Ryan.
down. Thank you so much, Ryan. We are in our undisclosed location, and we are out of here.